Hello everyone, my name is Kayla. Welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to be doing some 2026 goals. So to start off, I want to talk about my Goodreads goal. I didn't meet the goal that I wanted to last year, which happens sometimes. Life gets busy, things happen, and reading doesn't happen as much as I'd like it to. So that's unfortunate. I read 44 books out of the 52 that I wanted to read, which was still a good 85%. I talked about it in my last video. But I still feel pretty good about reading 85% of my goal. That's still like a great grade, right? That's what I said in my last video too. Great jokes. Anyway, so I want to read 52 books this year. I'm on track already. I'm already in the middle of 2 books. And I think it's going well so far. The first one that I'm reading is Mockingjay by Suzanne Collins. And I'm quite far into it, and I'm 233 pages in. And that feels pretty good. And I gotta show you guys this. Like, my mom got me this really cool bookmark for my birthday, and I was like, girl. So, let's see if I can do it. Yeah, look at that beauty. It's so pretty. It has a book on it. It has my channel name on it. Like, Mom, good gift. Good job. So, that was really nice. So yeah, that's the first book that I'm reading. I'm just going to put this bookmark back in there so I don't lose my page. And then I'm also reading Hemlock and Silver by T. Kingfisher. And really good so far. I've never read any of their books, so I wasn't sure like how to even go about it or how to feel about it or anything. Because when I was thinking about them, I thought they were known for horror. I don't read horror. Horror is not my thing. Read a lot of fantasy. I'm definitely a fantasy girly. So when it came to looking at their books, I was like, I don't know. And then like Faye and Eleanor and a bunch of other people were reading it too, and I was like, okay. And I got like sucked into it, so that's like one of my January reads. So it's been good so far though. I think I'm about 65 pages in, and it's like it's going well. I like it. Another goal for me is to participate in the anti-brain rot challenge. So this is by Janine from thisstoryaintover. I will link her down below. So the idea is to read diversely, consistently, and critically. And there's a lot more to it than that. And I'll kind of explain it like very briefly, because like I'm not the person to explain it. She has some wonderful videos, by the way, explaining everything that's going on, all the little details that the anti-brain rot challenge entails. But I'll go into it just briefly. So when it comes to consistency, you need to read for at least 45 minutes per day where you annotate what you read. Annotating, I guess annotating can be a little different for everybody. In my case, I do tabs and I do like notes in a notebook. I don't really like to write my books because I do want other people to be able to enjoy them as well. But that's no hate on anyone that annotates their books, by the way. That's just my thing. I feel bad. I don't know. Maybe I will one day, like maybe with pencil or something. I feel like that's where most people start with annotating. They start with pencil and then they like slowly move into highlighters and pens and whatever else. So yeah. Next, read at least one article/essay per month on any topic that interests you. So this is actually essays that I chose was part of my personal curriculum. And I'll get back to that in a minute. But I have 6 essays so far that I want to read, and I haven't read the first one yet, but I'm gonna get to it sometime this month. Read at least one book by a BIPOC author for every book you read by a white author. So this one, I thought it was going to be difficult, but it's actually surprisingly easy because there's lots and lots of BIPOC authors. And I guess you don't realize it until you actually sit down and look at the books that you're wanting to read, and you're just like, oh, this is by a BIPOC author. Yeah, it's been fun to like diversify my reading. Obviously, I read a lot of fantasy, and fantasy is dominated by like white guys, and I'm trying to do better with that, definitely. Next, mindful consumption. Read at least one book from the 10 following genres. A bunch of genres here. I'm not going to go into it too much. Read at least one book from the following 4 formats. Play, graphic novel, anthology / short story collection, and a translated book. That's going to be no issue for me. I think a graphic novel can also mean manga. And I read a lot of manga during the year, so hopefully that helps. Then there's 9 categories to read from, and she goes into that more as well. The last thing we're going to go into is critical engagement. Create your own critical media journal. Write down notes or reviews on each book you read, movie / show you watch, and each essay / article you read. So, I've actually been enjoying this a lot. I have only done reviews and notes on the books that I'm reading, but I do want to do it more for like articles and essays and everything else that I'm like consuming. I think it'll be really fun, especially for like memory issues. Create your own personal curriculum for the year or for each semester of the year. And then do a buddy read or join a book club and discuss at least one book with other people. So the buddy read, super easy. I do this all the time, so it's not going to be an issue at all. The personal curriculum. Okay, so I do write books. I don't publish them much. I wrote a couple poetry collections, which I always put in like my description. But I haven't written like the nonfiction book that I wanted to write. I have like a memoir that I'm writing, an essay collection that I'm writing, and the speed in which I'm writing them is not great. I definitely want to get more done in these topics. So the essay collection is about poverty in Canada, and I wanted to read more about it, given ideas around other people's experiences, because obviously I've experienced poverty for most of my life, and I know that my experience isn't the only experience out there, so I want to make sure that I'm bringing in as much experiences as I can when I'm writing, and that's been very interesting. And so yeah, that's kind of the thing that I'm working on most. And then also I want to work on the French language. So I've been trying to learn French for many years. I took it in elementary and high school. You kind of have to. You can stop taking it in grade 10. And I did, but it is what it is. So I wanted to get back into it, and I have like a couple books. I have like actual novels in French that I'd love to get to. And that's kind of my my ideas around my personal curriculum, is that I really wanted to be learning something that I can use. Next, I want to talk about the Buzzword Reading Challenge, and this is by Kayla from Booksandlala. And she did like a bunch of prompts, buzzwords for each month, and then also like a cover challenge. I don't really want to do the cover challenge. I'm just going to do the buzzword challenge. But for January, it's before and after. And I found that really interesting, because I feel like a lot of fairy tales have before and after in the titles. But I actually chose a YA graphic novel called Ever After. Who's it by again? Let's see. Olivia Viewig. And I think it's going to be really interesting. It's dark, mysterious, medium-paced. I'm on Storygraph right now. And that's kind of what it's telling me about this. I think it's going to be really great. I'm so excited for it. I have it from my library, so obviously I can't wait to like get to it. It's going to be really fun. And then lastly, my other goal for this year is I have created a book club with a friend of mine named Hermie, and I will link their channel down below. It is called Queerly Classic Book Club. And it's been really fun to try to figure out all the live shows and like the books we wanted to read and all the little details that you put in when you're doing a book club. So for January and February, because we're doing 6 books throughout the year to give people time to read, obviously, because not everyone reads super quickly. I'm one of the people that doesn't read super quickly anymore. I used to when I was a teenager. But now it's like, there's too much going on. Anyway, so this Queerly Classics book club, for January and February, we're reading, do I have it here? Yes, I do. We're reading Little Women by Louise Louisa May Alcott. And I'm really excited for this, actually, because I've never read this book. I don't read much classics. That's just not my genre of choice. But I definitely want to get out of my comfort zone when I'm reading and enjoy things that I didn't think I'd enjoy. So I think this will be fun. Yeah, I'm really excited for this. I don't think it's super long either. A little under 500 pages, it looks like. But I got the Penguins Classics versions because I thought it was like really pretty. So there's that. And then, like, as the months go on, we will be choosing other books with queer themes and vibes. This one, I think, yeah, Hermie came up with the ideas around the queerness in this book. And I just need to look it up quick. There we go. Okay. So I have it on my phone here, why it was picked. Set just after the Civil War in America, when gender roles were pretty rigid, it has been interpreted that Jo and the author may be gender nonconforming. It's not explicitly said, but we want to see if this is a good representation of existence without labels. And I was like, wow. Damn, Herbie smart. But that's kind of the idea, is that we're looking into classics that are inherently queer, obviously, but also classics that are not as obviously queer as you may think. There are a lot of time periods where you weren't allowed to write certain themes involving queerness specifically, and you weren't allowed to express that for yourself or your characters or anything like that, so you kind of had to be like sneaky about it. Sneaky probably isn't the right word, but subtle about it maybe is the better word. And I think that's pretty amazing that like people were still writing this kind of stuff when it was, in a lot of cases, illegal. In a lot of cases, they could be killed for it. They could be put in prison. And that's, I won't go into it too much. Obviously, I can talk about this for a while. But essentially, that's the idea there, is that we're looking into queer classics on a spectrum as well. So there's that. Okay, and then other goals for this year. I can't really think of anything off the top of my head, but I wrote down like my my bookish goals, and I think it's going to be a good year for books, a good year for reading, a good year for spending time with my bookish friends online, and I think it's going to be absolutely amazing. So yeah. But yeah, those are my goals. My Goodread challenge goal, anti-brain rot challenge, queer classics book club, and the buzzword reading challenge. So I do have some video ideas coming out for the rest of this month and going into February, and I think it's going to be a really good year for videos too. My goal for the videos, which please don't hold me to it too much because I am chronically ill. I get sick a lot, so I do my best with keeping up with videos. However, I'm going to be trying to challenge myself to put up one video a week. I know I could probably do like 2 or 3 videos a week, but I don't want to commit to that because I don't think it's realistic for me to do every single week. So I think doing once a week is possible for me, because I've been doing it for the past 6 weeks, I believe, and it's doable. It's really doable. It is. So yeah. Okay, so let me know down below, what are your goals for 2026? I know there's also, people call it different things too, because goals can be kind of a jaded word. Also let me know your intentions, your ideas, your thoughts, what you think about 2026 already. I know it's only the 8th today, and yeah. So I think that's everything. Thank you very much for watching. Bye.